about the soul activation. They are talking about learning how to float in the ocean of life, learning to, when an emotional experience happens, is to then to allow yourself to trust and have the faith that is happening for whatever reason, whether you know whatever the reason is at any given time. Okay, thank you. Now, I don't know why, but they are showing me, okay, thank you. They are showing me that, okay, I'll go with that. They're showing me that if more time than ever now, they are stepping forward. So guides are really stepping forward. Okay, thank you. They're talking about, okay, there used to just be a method of, you know, whether going to a religious building or just through religion. They're talking about now there is many people that are connecting to, whether you want to call it God, Allah, the universe, angels, whoever it is that you feel that you're connected to, because there's more that happen on the planet right now. It's opening up like another portal. It's opening up another dimension of the energy. It's thank you. It's strengthening that information that they are receiving. So there's more activation. Okay, thank you. They show me it's okay. It seems very busy what they're showing me right now with the Akashic records. Okay, thank you. They said it's fast forward, fast speed ahead. So what they're saying is, because people have been doing the work on themselves, people are understanding, individuals are understanding the journey that they're on to some degree, that, and you're reaching out to your guides, you're activating them, you're more aware of opening up the heart center, you're more aware of your energies rising and increasing. And now it feels more busier in the sense that there's more guides that are moving forward. I can think of this. So they're showing me, those of you who are aware of your guides, it feels as if there's going to be a mass shift. Guides are changing, they're showing me. It's interesting, it's like they're stepping forward, but they're also showing me how guides are even shifting and changing. And what this means is that where the change is happening right now, up leveling, upgrading of guides, it means that the some of us will feel a bit lopsided or wobbly or trying to get used to that energy. It's like having a new friend. So it's almost like getting used to a new friend, finding out, you know, do they like tea? Do they like coffee? Do they want a herbal tea? Do they take sugar? Do they take milk? It's a bit like learning that right now. Things are changing. And the whole reason for that is because you have changed so much. Your energy has shifted, your energy is changing. Okay, thank you. And they also said, don't forget to tell them that, okay, I think they know this or they're aware of this, that some of you will feel exhausted with the amount of changes that are going on in your life, amount of things that are coming up for you right now. Okay, thank you. Now, what they are showing me is that yes, guides are changing because the energy is changing, the energy frequency is changing on the planet. So it means that that's changing because there is more people connecting and believing there is something more to life than what you see. So a lot of people are just not working from the human plane in a way that a lot more people are opening up. Thinking, they said it is like the Wi-Fi system, that people are becoming more aware, that connecting, are becoming aware of the signs that they're receiving. So it makes the energy rise on the planet too. Okay, that would make sense. Okay. Okay. And so what they are showing me is there's more guides stepping forward. Now, I don't know who needs to hear this, because I don't know why they're, okay, I'll say it, because they're saying there might be individuals that need to hear this, want to understand that they, in your life, your guides step forward to assist you, but also the transition from one lifetime to another lifetime. It's like as if someone steps forward. Okay, thank you. They said like a key is presented, that they step forward in each of your lifetimes, your guides, and to guide you through to the next lifetime. So, you know, when you transition, you know, we would call it death, but they're saying that is just the end of that chapter and you're moving on to the next chapter. So whoever needs to hear this, it's just to reassure you that your guides will step in, whether it's a familiar face of a loved one or an angel, whoever it is, whatever you feel that you feel safe with and content with, they will step forward to help you to transition. So I don't know why they're saying that, but this is what they're saying. So it's really about being aware, to feel safe at this moment in time, to feel comforted that they are checking in with the planet. Okay, thank you. Ah, okay, thank you. Then one of my guys turned around and said, because of the war at the moment, there are many wars on the planet. And it's so that for those who are aware or it's affecting you and you hear this information, for you to know that those who transition as they move forward, they are being helped from the other side. So I'd say the vow, but they're using the word terminology, the other side. Okay, thank you. Now they're going back and they're also showing me, and they keep bringing me to the Akashic records. So that's where I was when I died originally, the first time around, shall I say. And they're showing me this. So for some reason, some individual or someone might need to have this information, but okay, thank you. They are okay. Let's have a little look. Oh, okay, thank you. They're sort of implying there'll be more people having those near-death experiences, but they're saying not to be alarmed. But it's literally that because thank you. Oh, okay, thank you. Because more people are seeking out information, more people are looking at information, that they're becoming aware that the fact there could be something else that exists. Good, because once the mind starts feeling that there is something that could exist, once the mind starts researching or discovering things about the Akashic record, then you can create the image and then the doorway opens. Okay, thank you. The doorway opens. So it almost feels as if that by becoming more aware of there is more to life than what we see, by allowing ourselves to open up more, you then are also opening up. They're showing me like not the own zone lane, but it's something like there is, okay, thank you, a portal that opens up more, that you start to see more. Okay, thank you. And also feel more. So the more awareness that you have about learning that you are more than what you see, learning about connecting to energy, learning about there is more to life, you keep saying that, then you end up opening the endless possibilities. There's so much more. Okay, thank you. And then, okay, thank you, they're doing this. And then by journaling, by writing you what comes to mind. Thank you. Some will call it mind. What comes to mind will be like the automatic writing. You'll be receiving information too. Okay, thank you. So at this moment in time, there is a lot more of you on the planet that are becoming more aware of information by sitting there doing journaling more and more. Okay, thank you. Are open to that now. The information comes forward a lot quicker. So you'll hear information a lot quicker. Communication will be a lot quicker. Thank you. And they said a lot of you are really communicating from the heart right now. A lot of you are opening your heart. A lot of you are tuning in. A lot of you are asking for that soul guidance. And a lot of you are receiving it too. So this moment in time is that soul activation period. So as we are here, January 2024, there is this fast forward. I mean, this year is going to move pretty fast. By having that faith, by having that trust, by knowing there is a connection, by allowing yourself to tune in, by opening up your own energy, by learning about that you have energy, then you become more aware of that you can connect. You'll start seeing signs a lot more quicker. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Many individuals haven't thought of themselves by being an energy being. Okay, thank you. And your past lives will catch up with you in this lifetime. I'm like, oh, crikey. Past life, I was a witch a couple of times and burnt at the stake and drowned. I don't want that to happen again. But they're talking about a lot of past lives will catch up with you. So there will be repeating patterns, repeating trials. Okay, thank you. They said she spoke about an emotional bonds, emotional trials that will be carried forward from previous lifetimes, that will be carried forward in this lifetime. So, okay, thank you. So there will be a lot of soulmate connections in this year moving on. If not already began, ended, there'll be some more. So those soulmates that come into your life, oh my God, God bless them. Some are wonderful, and the connections that we make with soulmates, and there are some that just leave you and you're like, oh my God, thank God that's finished. So the soulmate connections, the lessons that you'll learn is going to be full speed ahead, especially this year. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. And they are talking about the soul contracts that you have made with them. So the soul contracts you have made before you came here on this planet at this particular time, now they're activating. Okay, thank you. And again, full fast speed ahead, because of the progress that you've all individually made on your life journey. Okay, thank you. And that is like the ripple effect in the ocean, or the splash of someone splashing nearby, or the storm or the tsunami. That will create ripples in your life. But the lessons learned from those experiences will come up. Thank you. Okay, let's have a little look. Okay. All right. I've got thank you. I've got a Zachariah who's sort of, come on, let me in. I'm like, well, I've got my guides here, but Zachariah ascended master, and we're just gonna give Zachariah some space to come in. So excuse me for one moment. So much change on your planet at this time. So much change. There is nothing to be feared, as Anne has spoken, and she has given you the information that we have supplied her with. There is many changes. The empaths, the intuitives, the psychics, the mediums, those in between, and those who have many more skills, and those who are practicing their beliefs. There will be many of you that will be triggered as you step forward in this year. There is much more changes to come. But to welcome the changes, the less that you spend time on fearing change, the easier the change will be. It is a time of great importance on your planet. There will be many more star seeds born to your planet. There are many more waiting to enter into your atmosphere on your planet in time. This has been a pivotal time on your planet. There is more changes. There are many of us stepping forward, and many of you will have those encounters. Some will call those earth angels. Some will be aware of angels step forward. You will not see them with their wings. It's not as if they will be waiting at your bus stop or waiting at the train station, but you will see them as those individual humans who have helped you for whatever reason or why they step forward. You'll be aware that you turn around and they have disappeared, and you'll wonder where they have gone. There are many angels who will be seen as humans on your planet at this time. They've been asked to assist, and they will be activated to help your souls. This is not a period of time to be worried. This is more a time to come together. Unification, bringing you all together to help one another. This is what many of you have asked for when you have been here before in your previous lifetimes. You've asked to step forward, and you've asked to assist. You've asked to be here at this particular time. But we are wary and aware of many of you humans who feel you are suffering and hold on to the old way of life that you have wished to live for so long. Many of you will be in your comfort zones, but it is time to change. It is time to step out into the uncomfortability, because there is great change for you if you step into the uncomfortability. Many of you can ask for your loved ones to step forward to assist you. Those who have passed through the veil are still here waiting to be activated. It is you to step into your heart center and to have contact with them through this way. Is to build that relationship with them again. That is, if you do wish so. You are not waking them up from a deep sleep. You are not annoying them. They are still here. But it's for you to activate them if you need their assistance. Many of you are going through great changes on your planet. It is so wish that this happens at this particular time. There is nothing for you to fear. Work with the planets, the changes that you feel is happening for you, and is to observe. It is for you to learn those skills to help you on your journey. We are not here to be dictatorial or to give you a lecture. This is more that we are here to assist you. Many of us have walked upon your earth before, and we are aware that this is a time of just help and aid, and we're here to assist. Okay. Okay, and as the conversation was happening, I was being shown something about technology. A lot of technology is going to be changed, and they're sort of showing me some visions of different creations that's going to be happening as well. So it's going to be an interesting time. If we do not see it all in this year, a lot of it's going to be activated. So it's an interesting period of time, but not to fear. Okay. So while I'm here, I have an audience in front of me. I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has. Thank you. There is a team of guides here. We have light council here. Everyone's here. So if they can help you with anything, please go ahead. Twin flames, it's interesting. I feel that I've met a twin flame, and it's interesting. Psychically, been very closely connected, and actually see myself in them as an individual. And I feel what they feel what I feel. It's really interesting. Wherever they are in the world, we feel so connected. And looking at our lives at different stages of time, well, they have been through their experiences. We've almost like crossed over so many times in our life, where he was living his life with his family and I was only literally living 20 minutes down the road from him, and we didn't know each other at that time, and we've really crossed, different pathways and stuff. If that twin flame is traveling at the same speed as you, and they're learning, or they're at that place where they've learned as much as you, that's brilliant. But what I've noticed in this situation that I'm in, it's like sometimes I feel, oh my God, I was there, some bits of the relationship, I was there, like, in a way, my knowledge, 5 or 10 years ago, but he catches up really quick, super quick. He learns so fast. And it's not me going, I need to teach you this, but his experiences depend on our experience. This is the thing. When you allow yourself to experience those experiences, whatever happens, whatever the situation is, you full speed ahead, your soul sort of catches up. So when you're with a twin flame, it's like, if they're progressing at the same speed of you, it's absolutely brilliant. But the drama backwards and forwards of the emotions, I mean, it's, to be honest, the best relationship I've ever had, but it's very emotional. Soulmates can be very different. Soulmates can bring in whatever it is needs to be activated internally within you. So the soulmate connection and the contract that you make, it's whatever they bring forward in your life is like where you're at, what you needed to have activated. That soulmate comes in to activate it. And then by doing that, it helps you then to move on to solve the whatever it is that you need to learn, and then once that relationship has ended, and then you have another soulmate that comes in. So the soulmates are sent to help us, actually, even though sometimes it can be very dramatic, and the experiences can be dreadful. Some of them can be actually very loving, and knowing that this is the time just to separate on our pathway. But humans, with all our psychological baggage, the way we analyze things, it's not always about in the head. And I'm a counselor and I study psychology, and as a psychotherapist, it's not always in the head, it's to do with the heart. So whatever the heart needs to learn, that's the heart connection, the soul connection. So yeah, I mean, I just like to say, bring it on. And then I just put my hat on, like my tin hat, during the war in the trenches. I'll sort of go through that situation, see what happens next. But yeah, twin flames can, it depends on the situation, but yeah, they can be a little bit destructive too. The emotions that brings with it, that's all. Wow, brilliant. I love it. Okay, great question. Great question. Well, yes. What happens when we do reach out and call our guides? What can they give us? What support can they give us? Okay, thank you. And straight away they came in. Now, look, okay, it's a bit like, I don't even want to see that film, Nanny McPhee. She's there when you don't want her, and when you do want her, she then disappears. It's a bit like your guides. Sorry, they just showed me that. So if you haven't seen the movie, I think you better see the movie. So what it is that by the thing is, when we're going through those harrowing emotional experiences or moments, sometimes we forget to reach out of our internal self. We forget to reach out for guidance. We forget to reach out and say, I need some help. It's a bit like, if some people belong to a certain religion or whatever it is that, you might pray or whatever it is. But how guides can help you, they've always been appointed from the moment your soul was created. So whether it's a starseed or human, straightforward human, whatever, they've always stepped forward with individuals to be there in case you need guidance. And guidance is very much, they've shown me like a signpost now. So it's very much about, once you reach out and ask them to communicate with you, and of course you have to build the relationship with your guides to find out, how do you communicate with them? What do you receive back? Once you learn to look at, well, I reach out to my guides, I might not know who they are exactly, but I ask for help. they will come forward however they can. I've had individual students or clients, and they are, the way their brain functions or the way they receive the world is very they visual, or it is like they might hear things, or whatever is your brain's primed to, however you receive the information. So it's no good if your guide is trying to give you information. There's one particular person, and she said, I keep seeing these registration plates on cars, and they keep saying this and they keep saying that. And I'm like, well, what are they saying? And I said, what could it mean? And she said, but I'm not sure. I said, well, give me a clue. And when she read it out, and I said, well, it says, I can't remember what it was now, but I said, it's showing you to go in a certain direction. And then she was behind a bus one day, and then she saw this massive sign on the back of the bus. It was an advertisement. And she then messaged me. She said, it said, go this way. And I was like, did you follow the bus? And she said, no, I went that way. And I was like, oh my goodness me. So they can give you signs, they can give you clues, because it's a bit like what was the Walt Disney, where they had the fairy godmothers and stuff like that. That's your guides, basically. Your guides are there. They know when you've been created, they know your journey, and they want to assist you. So they want to work with your higher self. So they come in, they don't stop an accident from happening. They don't stop something from happening, but they are there to hold your hand. They are there to assist you. They're there when those of us that pass over, they're there to be by your side, to help, to assist you. If not, it's a relative, it's a guide to take you forward, it's a guide to take you over. But how they do it is by, thank you, one of them just said, also through automatic writing. With your writing, your journaling, they communicate, they can talk to you, you can hear their voices, and they start having this whole conversation. I think they sort of said something about the creative people who, when you really open up and you're creative and you go into daydreaming state, this is where you are connecting to the universe. You're hearing information. Your guides guide you in that pathway. You hear information more. They give that information. There's been films that's made 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. When we look at it, it's almost like predicting what's happening now on our planet. With some of the films that we know, we had the telephones that had the cable that was stationed in your house. We didn't think about mobile phones. And then, somebody in a film might have seen a mobile phone, but we didn't know it was called a mobile phone at the time. So they're working through you. So automatic writing, journaling, they're there to assist you, to say, it's okay, go this way. Don't get that job. Don't do it this way. Do it that way. Or there's times thinking, they just said, some people can be very resistant. They said that where they want to direct you to a particular job, or direct you to a lover, or show you the winning numbers for the lottery, or whatever it is, but the humans cross question, like, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. No, that's just my brain. That's just my mind. No, don't be so silly, when they want to help you. And then also guides can come, thank you, in the shape and form of loved ones that passed over. I living here in London, where I live, there's a tree right outside my bedroom, and parakeets fly to it constantly. So these green, beautiful birds, that's a sign from my granddad. And I whenever I sort of ask a question, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking for a sign now, and like, shall I do this? And I look at the tree, and there's no parakeets. I'm like, okay. And then I see the parakeets, and I'm like, oh, granddad, thanks. That's a thumbs up. I'm going to do that then. But it's about building that relationship. It's about us communication. Thank you. They often say this. They said, it's a bit like being on a dating app, and you swipe, and if you don't communicate with the person that you just connected with, they disappear. So the idea is a bit like your guides. It's like to keep constantly having communication. Ask them to connect with you in whatever way it is, so they can come in and say, hey, it's this way. Thank you. They said it's a bit like the breadcrumbs in Hansel and Gretel. They're leading you, but they wouldn't lead you to that house, that witch's house in the woods. I don't know the whole story, but there you go. So the idea is that guide me. I'm open to guidance. Show me. I do this first thing in the morning. I've created lots of playlists, or I've got random songs, and I shuffle it, and I always go, right, okay, show me a song for today. And of course, today was a lot of heartache, and of course they gave me a song by Celine Dion, and I was like, oh my god, I was crying even more. Something about if we hadn't have ever met, or something. Oh yeah, and the George Michael one, Turn the Corner or something. I'm like, oh my god. So they will communicate with however or whatever you want them to do, but they will give you that advice. They'll say, yes, go that way, or no. So that's how your guides can help. Does that answer your question? Is what we have found through grief of someone leaving and not being with us, a loved one, a partner, or family member. Our brain is really good at sort of creating a story. Our brain is sort of saying that person has passed away. They're no longer physically here. So they're no longer physically with me. I can't share my life with them. You know, they know me inside and out. They've gone, they've left me. And our brain, you know, you feel that. I mean, I had 2 passings last year, and it was just like, oh gosh, they know my life history. They know my journey I've been on from my partnership and everything. No, then no one else knows that, and I felt abandoned in a way, and I went into the brain fog, and I was like, what's wrong with me? I know my journey. I know they haven't gone anywhere. I know that they're here, but the brain is so good at remembering that actually death means the physical body leaves. It doesn't look at any other way, and then we think that we're separated. So we aren't separated. We have to remember the work that we do working with spirit is that we're not separated. They are just here, but we're now receiving them in different shape and form. Sometimes, you know, when I'm sitting with a client, I can hear them shouting at their loved one going, I'm here. I saw you do this. I mean, that's why we have mediums, thank God. And so many mediums around the world, because not every medium is going to suit everybody. And sometimes it's a medium that steps in and sort of says, they bridge it and sort of say, actually, they are here. They remember you saying this, or they hear you speaking to them, or they've seen you looking at the photograph, and they're trying to communicate with you. And a lot of the time, the loved ones who have just passed over actually want you to keep up so that they can like work through you, work with you, so they can be giving you signs. I don't know why I've got someone doing this. I don't know if you felt anything on your cheek recently or through, yeah, through meditation or something, but you know, and the reason why I hammer on about meditation and so does spirit is just that it's to calm the mind down, to give it some space, because our mind is so caught up with, again, recognizing that someone's passed over, they're no longer physically here, but they're still here. So whether that we are receiving it from feeling, that's a feeling on our face, or hearing it, or our bodies, or bringing something to you, a letter, or whatever it is, or finding a photograph, or whatever it is, thank you. And they just said, don't forget conversations with family members or loved ones that knew them. It actually activates them on the other side. It's sort of like, we're here, still here. And for them to be mentioned from conversation helps them to step forward more. It sort of energizes, it empowers them to step forward on that energy of love. So yes, our human mind sometimes blocks out the fact that, because it's the grief, it's heartache, because us as physical humans, we forget there is another layer to us, that there is the energy layer to us. There's the energy field on the planet, in the universe, because we're brought up or we're taught in a certain way. So yes, when a loved one passes over, we're so good at our brain telling us you can't physically see them, so they're not there. But that's nonsense. And that's why we do this work, energy work, so that when we open up energetically with meditation, we invite them in, we allow them to step forward, we allow them to come forward into that energy. So I would say personally, don't beat yourself up if you haven't connected, or you haven't picked up your tarot, or you haven't worked that way. You're going through your human experience, and that's okay. It's acknowledging that person that you loved has moved on into a different dimension, but it's only a different dimension. It's like being in a different room, that's all. And you just might have to shout out to them and say, do you want a cup of tea with how many sugars? And then you'll hear them back. So they're just in a different room. That's yes, evil people do have guides, but the guides aren't necessarily going to say, yes, go rob that bank, or yes, go murder that person. So no, they will have guides. And normally the guides, thank you that I'm getting clarifications on towards you. Normally the guides will be helping them try to stay on track, or try to help them to better themselves. But it's free will. You're always given free will and choice, whether you listen to those guides or whether you're tuned in. Thank you. One of my guides just turned around and said, it's very unlikely that somebody who is working from an evil point of view is going to be tuned in enough, because if they were tuned in the first place, they wouldn't be committing evil. It's those who get lost on their path, or do not believe that there is anything such thing as, you know, angels or whatever. There are some people, they said, that do get lost on their pathway, depending on what's happened to them in their lives, but you do have free will. I know, going back into my past, that some people that had experienced something similar to me, I mean, this is no judgment, they might have turned to drugs or prostitution. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's your bag, that you go with that, it's fine. And some have turned to other crime and stuff. So because some children that I knew that grew in a similar environment to myself, that's what they've chosen to do because of what they've been brought up with. And that's fine, that's their thing. And I'm not saying I'm better than now and whatever, I'm not saying that. but you have free will to a certain degree, depending on what information that you read or learn or know that, you know, I could have gone any way. And there are loads of people out there that in similar situations. So yeah, you're not going to have a guide saying, yes, we'll give you the winning lottery numbers. Yeah, we're going to show you your next drug dealer or whatever, or we'll show you the next bank to rob or whatever it is, or whatever it is. I'm just being very flippant right now, but great question.